Hello, everyone.
Hi.
And we've actually got it right tonight. So we've got the right date. That Kate did the wrong time zone the week before. I did the wrong day.
Maybe feel better.
We've got Dionne Woods from the Turquoise Iris live with us.
Oh, hi, everybody. Thank you. Thank you so much. It kind of gave me a panic last week, Sarah. I'm not going to lie. I had been doing something, and then I got on my phone and I saw we're live with Dionne Woods, and I went, what did I forget? Oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot something. And I went, no, I could have sworn we were supposed to do that in July.
Yeah, that was all me.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So, Dionne has kindly agreed to not come into the event, maybe next year, hopefully, fingers crossed. Yeah. If you're all nice to her, she may. But she's kindly agreed to do a virtual streaming live, maybe, or a video. We don't know yet. But she's going to virtually be there with us.
That would be great. That's the best I can do this year. It backs up to one of my other retreats. No. And so that wouldn't work out, but I would love to consider coming next year. And I will virtually stream here from the home. And I think that would be more fun. I would prefer that, just so we could do Q&A and have other people ask questions and do all of that as well. So thank you for letting me come on board and being a part of your shin, girls. I'm excited.
Yeah, we're excited that you said yes. I doubt there's very few people that don't know you or follow you, but maybe there's some new furniture painters or new furniture painting businesses that are coming on board. And Dionne has had huge success as a furniture artist. And also, there's just like, hang on, get the pen out. We have got an online, Dionne's got an online magazine, which is totally amazeballs. If you haven't seen it, you definitely need to go check that out. A podcast and there's a couple of membership groups that you've got going as well.
Yes. More than one membership group. I didn't realize that, to be honest.
Yeah, I do. I actually have 3 membership groups. The first one, we're celebrating 5 years this summer. 5 years was a Creative Connection. That was my first little taste into how I could teach and educate and kind of funnel everybody that wanted to learn a little bit more from me into one place. The main thing was driving me was shipping. People were like, how do you ship your furniture? But I had been doing it for years and I had to figure it out on my own. And so I created a resource that I couldn't find. That was the main thing. It's like, I couldn't find this. So I created the resource, created the business resource group, which we have a $5 special going on to celebrate 5 years right now.
Yeah, tell them about that.
Well, how do you celebrate and how do you give back to people when they've been supporting you for 12 years? The Turquoise Iris became a thing 12 years ago. And so how do you really give back? A couple of months ago, we gave away scholarships to the membership group, and that worked really well. We had you guys pick, you guys vote. And so you guys were able to choose who got the scholarships to the group, an annual scholarship. And that was great. But I wanted to do something really different that could, considering right now what's going on in the world and everything, I thought, let's do 5 for $5, 5 weeks. You get 5 days to join. And then if you like the group, we know that you're going to love it once you get here, because I know that there's 5 years of content that nothing's ever been deleted. So we touch on social media and marketing and heart talks. It's really hard for me to separate my heart from business and just in general. I have found that out about me. I am very transparent in what's going on with me. And I have found that the more I talked about that, the more other people were able to relate. So every Friday we do a heart talk as well. And we talk about gossip and jealousy and self-sabotage and all the things that we really go through. And I try to give them actionable steps to move forward for the week. This month, we have a worry journal that we're filling out. So to put all our worries in one journal, and then we're going to burn that baby or trash it, or we're going to do something with it after the month.
I like the sound.
I'm going to shred it. We're going to turn it into something beautiful. Painting of the pages might be better. Painting over the worry. But regardless, then I went on to do one-on-one mentorship, which, you know, it's for those that are really ready to take their business to the next level. So I spend time with them just like you and I are doing right now, where we talk for an hour and we strategize specifically their needs for their business. Mm-hmm. I have found that painting furniture was my vehicle that drove me to becoming the community educator, basically, because I have found that when you serve your community, they give back. And that's what the 5 for 5 is. It's like, how can I possibly give something that is very, you know, meaningful? I can't give away free product to everybody, but this is pretty close. You know what I mean? Like, this could be pretty life-changing for those that took advantage of it. So, and then the members of my group that have been here, I didn't want to leave them out. I actually gave them a big discount, like a big, huge coupon code for shopping. But then my last group is a finger painting group, ladies. And that is something Sarah talked about. Yeah. Finger painting. Years ago, Quita Allen and we finger painted just to stop, you know, just to get attention and like have fun. And we were throwing paint and everything. And then this girl took off in a way that was like, wait, this is like a tool in my toolbox. Like, there's something that's happening in my brain when I finger paint that is actually helping me become a better furniture artist and a better canvas artist. And so every single week I go in that group, and it's just a creative group. It's only $12 a month. So it's not like I'm not doing social media or anything like that. I am just talking to you about really leaning into your creativity and playing in the paint. And it's been a really eye-opening experience for myself as well.
Yeah, I just said to Dionne that because I'm not painting anymore, I'll miss it, but I just don't want to clog the whole office up with furniture again. But so I need to paint something. And when I saw it, I thought, you know what, that would be. I've got an easel in the shed, and I thought that would be a really cool way just to get your fingers dirty again. You know, just to get your hands dirty. And
it is to get dirty. It's like gardening. It's the dirt. It's the paint. There's something about it that we stopped doing, and we kind of put those kind of limits on ourselves. Now, a lot of people that do canvas work, or we use our hands sometimes, like, right? Like, we use our hands, but we're actually limiting ourselves to just using our fingers and creating flowers and creating a background and just smearing the paint. I mean, I've done landscape, like
I love that idea.
This one right here is completely finger painted. And it's fun, you guys. Like, it's
wow.
It's fun, and it's all just me tapping on the canvas and creating something that's
amazing.
Gives me joy, and it's not juvenile at all. And that's, I guess, part of it. I've kind of gone into it kind of leery, like, it's not childlike. It gives you that childlike feeling, though, which we forget, you're right. You know,
as we grow older, we stop the magic. We do. But I've just been for a walk down the woods with my daughter, and I don't know if anybody's seen that new trend on TikTok. Have you seen that people are going up to trees and saying, "Tree, if you can hear me, touch my hand," and the tree's high-fiving. It was hilarious. So it's all over TikTok, and I was laughing because I love the words, and it's like, it's my thing. And I said to Steve, because I've always told them from when they was younger, they were probably about 14 years old, and they was like, Mum, we saw a fairy. Because I'll totally, you know, and I'll tell them now, because they're older, and they said, oh, maybe we just think of it. I said, that's what your adult mind tells you, but you saw what you saw. And like, so I think we do lose that magic as we get older.
We do. There's something proven about walking amongst trees. They're now actually saying that gives
you know, in Japan they prescribe it for depression. There's a words which is only for walking and whatever, and Japanese doctors prescribe 2 hours walk per day in the woods. They know what they're doing. They know.
I love that. I didn't even know that. I haven't heard of that before, but it is a thing that happens with us when we go to school and we get grades, and you kind of identify yourself with who's the creative kid, who's the smart kid, who's the science kid, who's the one going to rule the world. Like, you have all these identities that we put on ourselves. And my goal with the creative group is just to kind of get rid of those identities and just, who do you want to be? Who do you feel like you really are? And a lot transforms while you're painting on when you're making clouds and you're building up your layers. Like, a lot happens. It's really, really wonderful.
Well, now I'm going to have to join that group as well. Then
you sold me.
Well, it's true, guys. You know, we were graded in school, and you know, you took the assumption that if your teacher gave you an S, which was satisfactory, that your work was satisfactory. When you know what I mean? Like I'm not putting anything against grades. That's not what I'm doing. But we started developing these ideas and concepts about ourselves as a creative person. And you'll hear someone say, "Oh, I can't draw a stick figure." Well, that is the most common thing that a creative person will say. "I cannot draw, Sarah. I cannot draw. I could not sit down and draw a bird." Like my husband will say, "Why don't you sketch those flamingos on that piece you did last week?" And there's something about me that feels that is too much pressure, because then it will have to look like a flamingo. But if I'm using a brush, I can just abstract it a little bit and just like, I don't know what it is, but I can't draw. I imagine if I sat down and had an instructor teach me, Sarah, that I could do that.
Yeah.
You do get, but if you draw a lot, you get better at it. That's for sure. It is practice like anything, but not that I've drawn in years and years and years, so I don't know either.
It's just one of those things, you know, when you know your own brain. I'm not saying, you know, but when you know your brain. So like, I'm not very good with maths, not numbers, but maths. And I'm not good. There's just a couple of things that my brain just goes, no. And that's one of those things. So I would say that I'm really creative. I did, you know, before I used to bake. You know, I've always been creative. I never had a name for it. I didn't realize I was creative until I started painting the furniture. And I thought, oh God, I've always sort of done that. So I'll definitely will own the hat of creative, but just like, I can't make anything look nice. Every time I've tried to do art, do you know what I mean? Like, in any way, shape, or form. And it's frustrating, because it's obviously something you know, I think everybody wants to be able to do.
I think so. You are the person that I would want to have at a retreat with me. And I would want to pour paint out in front of you and give you a big tarp and make you literally play in the paint. Because what you find is you learn what colors to put together. You can hear it all day long, but until you actually put that orange with that green and that color, and you go, okay, no, that's like a baby's diaper. Like, that is not what I had planned. But until you get in there, you are the exact person I would love to have like at a creative retreat. So we literally play in the paint, because I've just been completely self-taught just playing, and I've ruined and made some really ugly things, but that is how you learn. That's how you learn. You keep doing that over and over, and all the while you focus on the process, but not the end product.
Yeah, I can see that.
I
would be up for that. I think we should go to
what we should do it at the conference then. We should do some figure painting. Just get like leave up like really big sheets of paper and some paint, and just let everyone mess around. That would be fun.
That would be fun. Yeah, that would be fun.
Well, it's one of those things, like I said, that unlocks something in our brain that got closed up years and years when we were little kids. It's been closed for a lot of people. Other people just need help recovering from that. Okay, so recovering your creativity, even though they're creative, like you said, you bake cakes, a lot of that can be recovered with just a few days of genuine playtime. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So interesting.
We need to think about that a bit more. You know, maybe not the finger painting, but like just that whole
concept.
I've been just messing around with some paint. I mean, that's one of the things people love doing. We didn't get any results or anything particularly, did we? But everyone just loved messing about with paint. Gotta make sure that.
Well, and a lot of it has to do with every time you sit down at a canvas, guys, you or anything that you're doing, you want it to look like something, don't you? Like, it's supposed to look like something, or it's supposed to, here's my end, what my goal is, or I'm going to create this huge abstract that is going to resonate with someone and they're going to pay me money for it, because very few people spend a whole lot of hours. If they're a paid artist and a working artist, the goal is to sell it. But just like with yoga practice or a baseball, you know, my kids are baseball boys, and think about the fact that when guys retire in the MLB at age 45, whatever, they still go to batting practice every day. They know how to hit the ball, but they're constantly working that muscle. And so creatively, you have to constantly work your creative muscle, even though practicing creativity and actually sitting down. So you practice all week and then you go to the game.
Yeah.
So you're practicing your creativity and using that muscle. It makes you better for when it's time to sit down and do the work.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%.
Or something, doesn't it? I think. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Oh, there's Wendy.
Anyway.
Wendy says hi.
Hi, Wendy.
Missy, so I'm not in the plane, so I can watch your
live. Yeah, I don't know. You must be traveling. And Anna has just booked to come from Ireland, so that's nice. Hi, Anna.
Oh, she said, "Wow, beautiful" to the canvas that you showed.
Oh,
yeah, that was so good. So one of the other reasons that we wanted you to come along, as well as, you know, obviously all of those reasons we just mentioned, was really, I think most of us respond to the story. So, you know, the story of your success, whichever direction it's taken, is an inspiration to other furniture painters that are starting, or they're at a certain point in their business when they, you know, when we hit that roadblock and you just can't get any further and you just need some help. And so for me, like being in a coaching group or any sort of other outside help I can get, because we're solitary workers and you're by yourself a lot, it always helped me. And even if it wasn't, you know, exactly how I thought it was going to be, or you know,
specifically what you were looking for,
it was always
beneficial.
Yeah. And it gave me ideas. Like, you know, I can remember juggling all the things and I thought, you know what, I actually just need some help. I need to actually hire somebody else. But of course, when you're on your own, it's not something I think hearing you know, all of the speakers that we've got, but hearing your story about just how successful the business has been and what you need to do to get there. And sometimes that can't be just by yourself.
Yeah. No. How did you get there? How did it evolve into all of this?
So one of the problems, like you mentioned earlier, about it being a lonely job, we're working in our studios or we're working at home, ladies and gentlemen, and I, for one, was very lonely. And I knew that at the end of the day, I would go to baseball practice, or I knew that nobody really knew what I was doing. Like nobody knows how many thrift stores you're going to and how you're looking for things, and you can spend an all day shopping and come home empty handed. And you just feel like I've just wasted a day. You know, I've ruined this week. I can't get this project done. And nobody quite understands an unconventional type of job, which is what this is. And so I started when Facebook Live, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. When Facebook Live became a thing, my business coach at the time, who is still a coach of mine, is Jennifer Allwood. And she said, if you want to grow your business, you need to go live. And so she was the very first person. She had already on her webinar. She found me on Etsy. She had 103,000 followers. And just the other day I hit 104, and I got to thinking about how long I had never imagined that I would be where Jennifer was when she first contacted me. And I ignored her. I didn't reply to her because I thought, you've got the wrong lady. It's just me over here in Oklahoma. Like, wrong. And she messaged me again the next week and was like, hey, I followed you on Pinterest. I see your work and I'm really blown away by it. And now this was about 6 years ago. Since then, I did her very first webinar with her and loved it, connected with her. And I joined her group, and she said, going live, Facebook is letting you, this is the way to do it. And I thought, again, you've got the wrong person. I am the shyest girl in the room. I am the one that walks under the bleachers rather than in front of them. I am going to avoid eye contact, any kind of direct attention. I'm going to avoid it, avoid, like an alarm goes off. But on the other hand, I was a mama and I needed to help pay the bills. And I was at a point where I thought, it's either this or that, babe. Like, you better do something. And so I started doing live videos. And at the time, it was one of the very few people that were doing furniture, sitting on my garage, making a mess in my gym clothes, sweating down my face, ball cap, because this is life right now. And I don't know what else to do. So I'm going to show you a little paint. And I'm going to just tell you guys, that is the number one way that my business grew, because I don't know if I had never done a live video, if you guys on here talking to me right now would know who
Yeah, true. Yeah, very true. Very true.
I mean, let's be real. You might see pictures, but what do you get from the pictures? Do you get the tone of my voice? Do you get my enthusiasm for painting?
No.
Do you get the fact that my husband helps me now, and that, you know, he works part-time so he can help me part-time? Like, there's certain things that you've gathered because I've been able to tell you and show you, or my a dog comes in, and, you know, it's just, you're able to build up that trust factor that you cannot get from a photo, but you can through video. And I can't script myself. Here's the other thing. Live means no editing. I just am right here, guys. Like, there's nothing edited out. I can't fake it. Because day after day after day, I'm still here. I just keep showing up. So if I had to sum it all up, you all, it is doing live video and being consistent about it has allowed you all to know who I am, what I stand for, how I work, what's important to me. Nothing edited out. No. It's just here. And whether I'm having a bad day or I just finished crying 5 minutes ago because of whatever reason, here I am because I said I would be here. I'm going to keep showing up for you. Yeah. And in turn, the community comes right back. The community's there for me, and the support goes both ways. I
think we spoke about this actually the last time when we were on video together, and we were saying about what an absolutely amazing marketing tool it is, and it's available for free.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. But I always, if I'm having a bad day, that's the days I don't want to go live. But maybe I should just try it and just, just be a bit more real. In fact, I've neglected going live lately. I was a lot better at it, but for some reason, well, I think it might be this conference has got in the way.
A lot of work to do. Yeah.
So you think, oh,
and what happened? Tomorrow. I love that you said that, because what's happened, and what my husband and I will both tell you, we will be having a stressful day. Like, I went 100 lives in 100 days for 3 years. And that was something I did every October, November, December for 3 years in a row. And guys, there were days I don't want to be on here. I don't have a project. My studio's a mess. And I really but I'm here. I said I would be here. And I'm one of those people that I accept a challenge. I challenged myself. It wasn't anybody challenging me, but it was something that I could say, well, I did that. So it is doable, very well doable. And I'm always also someone that I'm like, I'm not going to tell you should do something if I don't do it first. Yeah. I'm not just going to, oh, well, you should, when I haven't actually tried that first. So I will come on and I will talk with people. And I very often, painting live at night is the only time throughout the day that I got an opportunity to paint. And painting calms my chaos. So if the day is chaotic, you guys know, even if you're talking to people, they come on, they're kind. When I get off of the live, I realize that my mood is boosted.
Yeah, for sure. That's true.
Yeah.
It is boosted. I am more calm because I painted, but I got to find out about Rohini's this, and I got to find out about Rashonda, and I got to find out about this. And I think if you nurture your community in a genuine, authentic way, it will show. And that is definitely, I feel, what has nurtured the Turquoise Iris growing, is that I have put forth the effort to nurture that.
Right. Okay. Do you think that going live a lot would help your furniture sales?
I think, as far as, like, you have to figure out how to communicate with your ideal client. So if the people following you are potential buyers, as far as they want to buy that, then what you might need to do on a live is you need to show them how to make it work in their home. Not show them how to paint it. You need to show them what colors this is going to look good with. You need to show them how to stage it in their home. You need to show them how it would solve their problem.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because if you want a buyer to watch your live, then you need to take that piece of furniture and help them figure out how they can put it in their home. So that would mean, what does it look like? What colors could you coordinate with it? What do you style above it? What do you put in it? And what problem, some of these older homes that have tiny closets, I sell my wardrobes to smaller towns that have older homes that have tiny closets because they need more storage. So I intentionally will market to those cities where they have older historical homes with smaller closets. So if I know that they have a bathroom that has like a cabinet this big to fit body towels, it's not going to work. So I can intentionally stage that with towels and say, hey, I've got your linen problem, like, solved right here for you. So if you're going to do live video, consider who you're, yeah. So yes, I do believe that you can do that. You just have to talk to them the way they need to understand that you're going to help solve their problem.
Right. That's really interesting. See, I think it's okay for me because I sell paint as well. So obviously for me to paint and show people what I do is pretty obvious in that respect. But I always think, but how would this help me sell this piece of furniture? Because that's really what I want to do, is sell furniture as well, you know, as well as the paint. So
the other thing you can do, the other thing that you could do, Kate, is a live Q&A more about the benefits of having a customized piece of furniture that nobody else has. And there is a joy in that. It's kind of like, you don't want what your neighbor has. You don't want what is mainstream. You want something that's intentionally dedicated to your space, that makes your space stand apart. And so talking to people about that also, and talking about the benefits of a hand painted piece, can actually bring life to a room and, you know, just make things more interesting.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So cool. You really have got a different way of thinking. You know what I mean? Like, you're just, you know, I don't know, you turn things on their head. It's interesting.
I would be nagging you.
I try to turn things on their head for sure about every aspect. I have learned that I definitely can't just trust this perspective. I have to have multiple ones, because I mean, you're talking to a community of people and there's always a way. And even in writing a post, so if you have an image of a new piece of furniture, Kate, and you're wanting to write a description, you need that description to tell a story. And you also need to evoke emotion. If you want someone to really make something, if you want to make your image memorable, not only make it a scroll stopper, which is staging and photography and, you know, what I teach all the time too, you got to get them to stop or they're never buying, right? Like, you have to get them to stop on your image. But you also want your description to evoke an emotion, which means, hey, this color of periwinkle reminds me of my favorite iris that I used to see in my grandmother's garden. Did your grandmother, and you start down memory lane or you start nostalgia and you evoke an emotion in them, they're going to remember that more than if just, hey, I got this for sale.
Yeah. I hate writing. I hate writing full stop, really, but I hate writing a description. I could probably do a beautiful description of someone else's piece of furniture, but I suppose with my
I understand.
It's I don't know, maybe exposing too much of yourself or something. So
I understand that. And that's what people are buying.
I'm going to stick with this group of yours. I mean, 5 weeks is just not going to be enough, is it?
Well, you can stay longer. I promise you can stay longer. You'll just kick it regular monthly fee. But
to remind everybody that Dionne's got a special deal on for her Creative Connection group. The link is in the comments if anybody wants to go have a look.
Thank you for that. Thank you. I was going to say to write down ideas in a little book and just keep it handy. And the reason I say that, the first time I realized that an old barn was somehow attracted to me, like I was attracted to the old barn and the old finishes, it was kind of like, okay, I need to write this down. This story about being on the tractor and we were picking pecans and, you know, my grandmother would have thought that was old and rusty and yuck, right? Because it needed a new paint and it was old. When you realize, wait, look at the patina on this. It's like, now this, how do I recreate this on a piece of furniture? Write down the story. And that is something that you can use as a description on your piece of furniture for someone to go, yeah, I remember that. Like I have something similar. And that evoking emotion in the descriptions. And you want to be vulnerable, sister, because anybody can paint a piece of furniture, but people are buying from people that they connect with. They're buying from the story of the artist as well. Why do you do what you do, my friend? Why do you show up? Why are you here? That's also what they want to buy from.
Mm-hmm. I can do it. I did a live a few weeks back on how a piece of furniture had gone completely wrong and what I had to do to redo it. And I got a lot of really nice comments on that. And I definitely felt that connection. So maybe I just need to do that, just do lives on all my mistakes that I make every day.
I was thinking that I really like reading your posts, and I think a lot of other people do too, because you are just you. Me? Yes, it isn't salesy. None of your posts are salesy. They're very just you. Oh, look at this. I saw this. I think this is great. Look at that reminder. You do that. I think you're good at that.
Maybe I need to work on it a bit more. Okay, there's something there I can work on then, isn't there? Oh, this is good. I'm getting more advice. Can anyone else tell me some more things?
Yeah, I could talk on that all day. I actually could talk on that all day. So it's an easy topic for me. But part of my story, what you asked me about, Sarah, is that being such a shy, modest person growing up, and really not until I was 40 years old did I ever really make a commitment to myself that I do have a purpose and a value, and telling my story is going to help someone else. So it's literally the thing that pulled me out of my shyness and the box is going live and talking with people and sharing about myself, which I never felt confident doing. I've just always been so insecure and felt inferior, and, no college ID, no college degree, and just always felt like I was less than, for whatever reason. I can't explain why, but doing this and going live or thinking, well, I didn't die. I survived that another day. I'm going to do it again.
This is true.
The very thing you didn't die, guys, right? So you pull yourself out of that shell. It's like, I have stomped on that box and just crushed it and burned it and thinking, I'm never going back to that space of doubt and insecurity again. Now I'm going to doubt here and there little things. But when you remember that your story helps somebody else and it's actually not really about you, there's a beauty and a less pressure there when you can realize this helps somebody else.
And despite the negative side of social media that it can be, I mean, I don't think there's a lot, but there's a little bit there. What you're explaining is almost that it gave you a sense of purpose, and it gave you back your, I don't know, your box, and gave you a value, or even though you had one anyway, but it made you feel like you were valuable to the people that were wanting to learn from you. So
it's true. And one of my retreats I had recently, you all, I asked each woman, this is something we have to remember. When you literally realize by visually seeing people say, me too, in front of you, and you feel that connection, like at a retreat or a workshop. I had a piece of paper and I sent it to the 20 women that were there. And on the piece of paper, it had questions like, I often self-doubt. I am scared of doing this. I suffer from anxiety. I this, I that, I this. And you sit and don't put your name on it. But we were at a retreat. It was very safe. We were here supportive of one another. And they answered the questions with just yes or no. And then you put the paper back in a bowl and I shuffle it up and I hand them back out. So you don't know who's you're getting. I read the questions again, ladies. And one question was the only one that everybody, and I said, stand up if your answer is yes. This way we will visually see how alike we really are. The things that we're worrying about are so similar. And the one question that everybody in the room stood up was, I often compare my work to others and feel jealous that I can't do as well, that I don't understand why it's so easy for other people, but I can't figure it out. And we were all like this. And it was emotional. It made us tear up because we're like, oh my gosh, you too. All of us, we all suffered from it because you couldn't hide from that because we were all standing. So we all knew that we were all in the same boat. And once you realize that, you don't feel, it is powerful. It's powerful to really see that. And I did that on a much bigger scale with 8,000 women at a conference that I went to, a women's conference, 8,000. And that was something that.
Yeah, it was something powerful last year, wasn't it? When at the end of the conference, we got a standing ovation and I started to cry and Sarah just laughed at me. But it was because it was powerful. It was like you could have floated on that energy. It was incredible. Yeah. But I like the idea of that. So, right, we need some paper and some bowl. Maybe we could do something like that live with you then. We'll have to think of something. You'll have to come up. Well, we'll leave you to think of the ideas. You've got the ideas. But that would be really, really powerful, I think, to do something like that. Because there is a lot of jealousy and it creates a lot of that bitchiness about each other. And one thing that we found that when we got everybody together, it evaporates and we're much stronger, we're a much better team together. When I don't know if Sarah's told you the story about the first conference we did together in Canada, we were all fusion stockists, so we were competitors Yeah, 4 competitors that have never met before, and we're still friends now, and we still help each other now because actually we're much stronger together than what we were. So yeah, it's interesting, really interesting.
It is powerful. I like to use the visual of us kind of linking arms and just like, because there's going to be days where I can lift higher and I can pull, but there's going to be other days where I'm going to need you to pull.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I've always said, we said it the last time, and I think, you know, I don't think we've mentioned it this time, but when Kate was right about that, so there's, you know, if you know enough of the furniture painter peoples, you know, they got, you know, this one maybe don't like this one, so, you know, there's always that nonsense that goes on. And Kate's right. So when we literally physically got them into one space, that crap did not exist anymore. It's all nonsense that you're making up in your head. It's rubbish.
Yeah.
And I've always said it, and I'll maintain it to this day. I think it's because I've grown up in a house full of girls. But when you get women together, magic happens. Magic happens. You just got to let your guards down and come and join it, you know? Yeah,
that's very, very true. And actually staying at home, missing out, will make you feel worse.
Yeah, you all need to come.
No. It's true. It's true. And I know from experience that when people will walk into your conference, they walk into wherever, whatever I'm doing or anybody else is doing it. I can tell you right now, they walk in thinking they're getting something and they leave with so much more. Like they have no idea what they were not prepared for what they gained by those connections. I've seen best friends form. I've seen businesses form. I've seen, and I know that at your conferences, which is why all of you should come to something like this. This is something that if you for 1 second think that you are alone or think that you're the only one or think that you're in a creative rut and that you're doing something wrong, put yourself around people of like mind. And it's easier said than done. It's going to be a financial burden. Could be. It could be easier just to stay home. It just is easier. It's just to stay home and not go through all the work of prepping. And then when you get home, you got to do all the other things. But guys, ladies, gentlemen, it is so incredibly worth what it's going to do because you will not be the same when you get home. And what that means is changes creates growth. I'm telling you, you will leave changed. And you can just, that's one of those things that you just have to trust the people who have gone before, because I've seen it happen over and over. And I've watched someone evolve within like 3 days. It's amazing how quickly a transformation can happen too, because if you receive the knowledge and receive what everybody, all the speakers are listening and receive the compliments and receive the connections. If you put your walls down, walk in there, ready to receive and, you know, leave there, you're changed. You've gone home. Something
sure. Yeah, definitely. And, you know, I think for me, the biggest takeaway for me, because you learn stuff, you meet people, you make new connections, all of those things obviously go without saying. But the biggest thing that I took away was meeting people that I admired and looked up to, and they were doing fantastically well, you know, doing the things that I would like to do, and meeting them and hearing their story. And it was a simple one. It was, you know, like the one that you've just told us, worked really hard, did it, and all the things. And just thinking, okay, so it's attainable then. So then I could do that. That was the biggest, like my brain just went boom, okay, like exploded with ideas. And then and it doesn't even matter whether you see through all of those ideas. It's the feeling that you can to them if you want to.
Yeah. You can do it. Yeah, amazing. Yeah, it's just opening your mind that it is actually possible to do some of those things.
Yeah,
that there is barriers.
Yeah, that's my little tagline is, if I can, you can, because I've never felt like what I'm doing is all that difficult. I just keep trying. I keep going. And I tell people that I keep showing up. I'm not going anywhere. I just keep showing up. Here I am, you know, and
can't get rid of me.
You can't get rid of me. But because I get bored easily, I keep trying new ideas. And I think that's where people get stagnant and stale, when they refuse to change and they want to stick to their old ways. It's got to be the way. But if they're willing to change and they're willing to make connections and they're willing to be vulnerable and make friendships, because now you guys are my friends. Like, I look at it like, hey, I could reach out to you. You can reach out to me for any reason at any time, and I'll be here for you.
Yeah.
But you have to be willing to do that and willing to understand only good can come from that.
Oh, we've got some comments coming in here. Tonda says, it's great to see a heartfelt discussion. And then Angie Thomas says, last conference gave me confidence. And then there's one from Kate Whitson, raising a glass to you ladies. Oh, it keeps popping off. September will be here in a blink and we'll all be together. That's very true.
Yeah. It was so good. And I think the worst part about it is not being able to articulate all of the benefits that you get when you, like you said, your cup is full by the time you leave.
It is. Ladies, I'm curious because I know y'all been planning this for a while. And I'm speaking I'm speaking here in Oklahoma, virtually, but I'm also curious, remind me who all is coming and what the topics are that they're talking about. I would love to know more.
So on the Friday, it starts on the Friday. So on the Friday, straight after check-in, we've got Annie Sloan coming, and she is doing a demo in the main hall for us for a couple of hours. And then after that, we're going to have like a buffet style evening meal and some pims in the garden. maybe some fire pits and marshmallows in the evening. So that's going to be the first date, just so that we got that, everybody gets to know each other. Right? And then
meet Annie Sloan.
And meet Annie Sloan, of course, obviously. And then on the Saturday, so we've got IOD, so we've got Josie and Sally coming. We have got, so they'll be doing a demo on stage. We're not quite sure exactly what they're going to be doing, but they're going to be showing us some new products, I think. So
we've got Brushed by Brandy and Chris Dorner.
Brushed by Brandy will be there. Chris Dorner will be there, and the lovely Jonathan Mark Mendez. We love him; he's a friend, so we've dragged him along too.
Solid.
Yeah, Woody Bend will be there. General Finishes. It's not actually General Finishes; it's Euro Finishes, so it's the European distribution of.
Okay.
Two fellas, and they're really knowledgeable, so really looking forward to that. And we also have
Fleur from Italy. So we got
from Italy, and the owner's coming over. He's lovely, Fabio. We interviewed him Friday. He's lovely. And we've also got Daydream Apothecary Paint. They are sending people to come do a demo for us, etc. And we've got Mint by Michelle transfer papers so far. We've got a few others in the wing. Just being onboarded.
We've probably just forgotten someone as well.
Sorry if I have.
But that's incredible. What an incredible lineup. Oh my goodness.
We've got some business stuff too. We've got somebody showing Amelia is going to she's a launch it website expert in SEO. So she's gonna tell us why we need a website, what the best things are. So that's going to be interesting. And we've got Megan Williamson is a Pinterest influencer, so she is going to be coming and giving us a live class too.
And and more. We still haven't now. In fact, actually, what's happened is we've got kind of just so much creative stuff going on. We just need to nail down a bit more of the business stuff and some of the practical stuff. We did a lot of that last year with social media and staging. We had Judy Anya. You must know Judy Anya for staging, and so we need to get a bit more of some of the practicalities in there. I think we've got paint and fun going on.
We also last year we had a demo from Festool. Went outside, and that was amazing. The girls loved that, so they all got to try the big machines. And from that event, I think everybody ended up buying a new machine, didn't they?
Last year we had Jennifer Orwood, and that made people cry. So it's good to have a mixture of both. I mean, you get it. You totally get it. So what we're talking about, but
it is a good idea to have both. And it sounds like you guys have covered just about everything. I would encourage, see if one of those people will also do some short video. Maybe if one of the peeps would do how to do short videos, short reels, short TikTok, short little 15-second videos, and can kind of make everybody get their phones out and just kind of all do one together. I think that would also be a really.
I said to Kate last year, I wanted us to do a really silly TikTok dance, but get the whole event to do it. And anyway, we didn't pin it down in the end until we got them to do the Mexican wave. That was good. And we ended up doing it in a slow-mo, so everyone's going, it looks terrible.
But then, luckily, what happened? Because it was almost as if you'd recorded it wrong.
I don't know what I've done. I'll just press slow-mo and everyone's going, it's awful. It was so funny.
Yeah, we need some more of that type of thing. It was fun. We had a drone come over when we were all outside on the terrace on the first night. We had a friend of ours came and did this drone video, only because Sarah thought it would make us look really slim. I'm like, no, Sarah.
It looks slimmer. So it didn't work. But.
Oh my gosh. No, you guys, in-person events, you can't trade an in-person event for anything. It makes me sad that I'm not going to be there in person now that I've heard all of that. I really would love to be there. But,
we'll do a test run this year. So next year we'll have to coordinate dates, and we'll come to your retreat and you'll have to come to this. That will be good.
Yeah.
Wonderful. I love it, ladies. It sounds like wonderful. I can't imagine that you won't completely sell out of your tickets. Do you have a limit, or is it completely open-ended?
You have it, but yeah,
we've got plenty of tickets left. I think lots of people are feeling the pinch financially over here at the moment, and they're just
a little bit doom and doom here at the moment, isn't it? It makes you feel kind of guilty to spend any money. So we've split it into 2 payments, and it is doable. It is doable, but you
just keep telling everybody it's essentially the price of one piece of furniture.
Yeah, all that.
And when you think about it again, here I go flipping your perspective. It's almost like some of you that are really, really struggling right now, ladies and gentlemen, it's almost like you can't afford not to do this.
Yeah.
And the reason is because of the resources and the tools that come from such a thing. It's almost like you cannot afford not to do this, because the connections that you will make, you don't know what will come from those connections, opportunities such as this. The other thing is, if you are stuck, this is exactly what you need. So making it happen is probably pretty crucial or imperative to the longevity and sustaining your business further, for sure.
Yeah. I was talking to someone today who was going to put off having her Botox and come.
That's so funny.
I know, it's like the best thing.
Whatever you gotta do, honey. Hold off on the Botox.
We could just put some sellotape up here instead, and we'll be fine. Who needs Botox?
Yeah, that's what's underneath my bangs is a lot of tape.
Just pulling it apart. Oh, what are we like?
Oh dear. Oh, well, it's been really lovely talking to you. And I'm conscious of your time, because that's very generous of you to give us, like nearly an hour. So is there anything else that
we've been talking for an hour already?
I know. I feel like we've only just got started, but also at the same time I can just see it, and I just sort of thought, oh, poor you. It's the evening for
that's the magic sauce. That's the magic sauce that keeps them in, because you just want some more and some more.
Yeah. Well, I've got a lot of things planned for my conversation in September. We'll do some exercises, through the visualize. I'm not going to make you do jumping jacks, ladies and gentlemen, but I do mean I've got some exercises planned, tangible. Make sure you bring a notepad. I've got some things that I want to send home with you and actually give you actionable steps that you can take to move your forward, to move the needle, whatever paraphrase you want to use. But the main thing is, I'm not going to come and waste your time. I promise it's going to be valuable. I want to give you something that you can benefit from.
Yeah, well, actually, I've enjoyed just talking to you this evening. I got quite choked earlier when you were saying some of the things. It, definitely resonated with me. So
she's a crier, that one.
I'm not really. I don't actually cry that often. I just cry more often than you.
Well, I'm a crier. That's the thing. I am a crier, because if someone's feeling something, I pick up on that really quick, and I notice that you got choked up. So I'm like, okay, pull back, Dionne.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I did pick up on that. Your nose got a little red and you kind of went like that. And I'm like, okay, pull back, Dionne. That's too tough. Woo! But
no, it's not too tough. It's never too tough. It's fine, isn't it? It is.
The reality of it is for anybody on here listening or catching the replay is that you're not alone. And if you feel defensive or you feel protective, that's okay. But for a business to sustain itself, the protection and the seclusion has to go away. It just does. We were never intended to be alone. We have to actually be a part of something in order to grow. It's just the way that it is.
Yeah. And I think if they've been running their business for any amount of time, you do come to that space. You come to that space and you think you're juggling all the things, and you cannot do it alone any longer, whether that's with a coaching group or whether it's hiring somebody in. but there does come that time, and you need to be around the best people to find out who the best people are to help you.
Yeah. And just to make new business buddy friends, but also we've been on our own far too much this last couple of years, and we all need to get back. We're all almost losing the habit of getting out there and being with people. We're becoming too solitary in some respects. So
we are, and that's the thing. When I said it's easier, it would be easier for everybody just to stay home. Yeah, it would be easier if we just said no, it's not the right time, and we made excuses, because it is hard to do the traveling and rearrange your life and find babysitters. It is hard to do those things, but it is worth it. And so are you. And that's the key. Is it's hard to get someone to understand that, but trust a friend, trust someone that you respect. And if they advise you, then being able to trust people. We were never intended to be alone and sitting in our garage and day after day after day, completely alone. So find a way to connect. And if you can make yourself come to this, I would highly recommend you do so.
Oh, well, I think that's a perfect ending.
Really appreciate you coming on. I know you're dead busy.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Guess what? I'm going to paint a dress after this. As soon as we get off, I'm going to
take
this
them.
dress. I'm doing black instead of white. I've been painting my wedding dresses.
I saw that one, the black one. Yeah, I saw that.
I'm going to paint some red flowers, and then I'm going to attach some big red and coral peonies. And yeah, I don't know. I have all these ideas.
My oldest daughter's getting married next year, and when I showed her them, I was like, "Look at this." She was like, "Oh,
the wedding dresses."
She said, "But because I've never been married before, I really do want a white dress. So you don't have to have one. I'm just showing you them. They are amazing."
No, but what she could do is she could do it afterwards.
Do it twice, yeah.
Perfect.
I was like, I need to get married just so I can wear one. And then I saw the little, the motto in it, and I thought, well, I'm not fitting in that one, am I?
And I can't fit in it either. That's why I'm not in it. But I did tell my husband after I did the last one with the blue, I told him, I said, okay, we are being married 25 years next August. So if I do myself a dress, can we renew our vows, and our boys can stand up for us? And I'm daydreaming about making the possibility of that happening, ladies. So I'm kind of
love that idea.
She might need some bridesmaids, Sarah.
Needs bridesmaids. I've got a look at.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, ladies. I appreciate everybody coming on. And I cannot wait to talk to you all in September. It's going to be an awesome time, I promise.
And don't forget to go visit the turquoiseiris.com to see Dionne's Creative Connection membership group on offer for $5.
For 5
Get
weeks.
yourself over there.
I'm going to dive right into it tomorrow. I'm going to paint and watch and listen.
Awesome. Awesome. If you need anything, ladies, let me know. Thank you for joining the group.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been my pleasure. I appreciate you all.
I know, it's totally ours. Thank you.
See you soon.
You bet.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. See you later.